Hello, my name is Algorithm. I do YouTube's dirty work. I unsubscribe unsuspecting people from hunting, shooting and reloading channels. Please check your subscription to this channel. Don't forget to subscribe and like. That keeps me in a job.
Hi, welcome to Chase's Everything Shooting. Today's episode is about polymer cased cartridges. Now you're going, what do I care about this? Well, it is the way of the future. Now let me say that again. It is the way of the future. Now, for us reloaders, do we really care about that right now? No, we really don't. Number one, they haven't figured out a way to reload them. Number two, there's boatloads of brass, aluminum, steel cases in order to be able to be reloaded. So, do we really care about this? Well, it's something on the horizon, and it's something we need to be thinking about. And the reason we need to be thinking about it is the price of brass and aluminum, copper, steel goes up, then that is going to force ammunition manufacturers to look at different ways to make that profit margin that they need to make. Now, do I think this is going to happen quick? I don't think so. I think 10 years, maybe. It all depends. It depends on what happens with the economy, what's going on. But the government, Department of War, has already contracted with NAMO to make 50 caliber ammunition in the plastic case. And they tried out a lot of different brands, and there's really only about 4 manufacturers, really three and a half, let's just say that, but 4 manufacturers. And the Department of War or Defense has tried out all the different manufacturers. Now, NAMO got the contract on the 50 cal. It was a $95 million contract for the Marine Corps. But there's the naval weapons have been trying out different calibers, the 6.8, different calibers. And so they're all looking at it. And I totally get why they're looking at it. There's a lot of advantages. But let's talk about the current manufacturers and who's really out there vying for this business. Now, the number one out there right now is NAMO, sorry about that. They are definitely right now the largest with the largest contract, governmental contract. Behind them is True Velocity. And True Velocity has got a really great product. I have that product. I've used that product. It is a very good product. There are different manufacturers. There's a team up between True Velocity and General Dynamics, and I'm not really sure how that works. General Dynamics was working on the firearm and using the True Velocity cartridge. That has progressing, but it has not gone to contract at all. And then there's PCP, and PCP is a polymer cased company that is making different sizes, just like True Velocity is. And they were in the process of going through the testing, the governmental testing. So it's starting to happen. They're starting to use it. And so something to look at and something to think about. We're not going to reload them, not at this point at least, but it's something to know that the future is coming, especially if metal prices go up. So let's talk about why you want a polymer case. The first reason you want a polymer case is it's 30% lighter than a standard brass case. Now that's kind of overall 30% lighter. That does make a big difference. And that makes a big difference when it comes to ammunition, 50 cal for helicopters. So in some of the helicopters, they keep on board 6,000 rounds. So that really equates to about 430 pounds of less weight for ammunition for the same helicopter. So that means they can carry more ammunition, they can carry another person, they can carry more fuel, go farther. So it really looks like a very smart idea. Now you have the Navy looking at the 7.62 caliber for their minigun on different vehicles, different for helicopters, and they're looking at the same way, taking the weight out, being able to carry more fuel, more people, whatever that requires. So the lightweight part of it is a huge thing. Let's get to number two. Number two is heat efficiency. And heat efficiency, you're like, heat efficiency? Well, those of you who shoot a lot know that when you use multiple rounds through a gun, the chamber heats up and the barrel heats up. The barrel is always going to heat up a little bit, but the chamber always heats up because the expansion and the brass transfers the heat to the chamber. Well, with a polymer, it's like an insulator. It takes that heat and doesn't allow the maximum heat penetration like you would have on a brass or steel case. Number three, the potential for improved ballistics. What do you mean improved ballistics? Well, the flexibility of the polymer case in the internal geometry allows manipulation to improve ballistics and increase muzzle velocity. Yep, I read that. That's pretty smart. I get it. So that's another great reason to stay with polymer. Number four, consistency in manufacturing and molding. It is very consistent. They don't see a lot of differences in chamber fit, and especially in a 50 cal machine gun, that makes a big difference. So they're finding that the consistency is much better on a polymer case. 5. Now this is a big one for the manufacturers. It takes less gunpowder to get the same velocity or better velocity than you would get with brass or steel. Now, that's something I wouldn't have thought about. Who would have thought about that? But think about it. With gunpowder prices, with what's going on with the nitrocellulose market, smart. The less that they can put in, get the same velocities, the better off they are. All right, 6. Structural design. The neck and shoulders are a little bit smaller than traditional ammo, and the integrity, I had a hard one with that, integrity of the weak points of the composite case are less. Meaning, you don't have shoulder deterioration. You don't have the issue with that crack or the expansion on that crack. So it does make a difference. Now, for you and I, we're not gonna see it. We're not pumping that many rounds through our guns. Well, maybe some of you are, but I don't have anything but semi-automatic, so it isn't going to make too big of a difference for me. Number 7. Number 7 is the case material. They found with the polymer that because it disperses and doesn't allow the heat to come all the way through, it comes out of the chamber in a much quicker and easier manner. So as the chamber doesn't heat up as much as you would get with brass or steel, that cuts down the propensity of a round hanging up in the chamber. Now, again, does that make a whole lot of difference to us? You and me? Yeah, it doesn't to me, but it's something to think about. It's definitely a big factor. So if you really look at what's going on, the polymer cased is just a smart idea. Is it early in production and early in testing and use? Yeah, it is. But think about this. You're a Marine and you're lugging around a 50 cal Barrett and a bunch of ammunition. If the ammunition weighs 30% less, you can carry more ammunition, or you can carry the same amount of ammunition and not be as fatigued. Then let's go to the flip side of it. When you're looking at the 6.8, you're looking at the 7.62, looking at the 5.56. Again, they can carry the same amount of rounds and have less weight and be fatigued less. So all around, it's a pretty smart idea. It's coming. So at the end of this video, there is a short video on manufacturing and how some of them are doing it. So stick around and see that. I appreciate you viewing. I appreciate you coming by. If there's any questions, please put it down in the description below. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Don't forget to like and subscribe.